Okay. All right. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first New Jersey Solidarity Network Conference. My name is Aaron Bierstein. My pronouns are he, him, and in a narrow sense, I am with the Central New Jersey Democratic Socialists of America. But in a much more important sense, I am here today with all of you. This conference represents the first general meeting of a new federation of organizations across the state of New Jersey who are engaged in the work of mutual aid. As the day progresses today, we will have discussions both about the meaning of mutual aid and what it means to be gathered together as part of a federation. Today, we have members of 7 different organizations officially represented here, but our network includes some organizations who are not able to join us today. In no particular order, we will be having discussions from Mutual Morris, Central New Jersey DSA, Princeton Mutual Aid, Union County Mutual Aid, the Geo Collective, and the Socialist Rifle Association. This conference is not an end unto itself. Rather, it is the beginning of an association which will grow together and form stronger bonds as we go forward. As the people who engage in the practice of mutual aid, we already understand the power of organizing. That when we act together instead of alone, our efforts are so much greater than the sum of their parts. We are here today to build upon that framework and create an organization of organizations. Mutual aid for mutual aid. We are by our nature people who care. Each of us cares deeply about a wide range of issues. It can be truly overwhelming. Just at the current moment, we are dealing with ravages of global pandemic, systemic racism, imperialism, homelessness, abuses of human rights, and attacks upon our fundamental freedoms from reactionary forces. And if you're worried today that you're missing out on the nationwide protest for abortion rights, don't worry, we are going to be discussing that as well. Sometimes it can feel like each of these issues are insurmountable just on their own. We each have limited time, resources, and capacity to be part of all the fights that we want to be a part of. But what we recognize here is the concept of solidarity. We don't have your struggles and your struggles and your struggles. What we have is the universal struggle for collective liberation, for dignity, and for justice. Each of us may work towards these universal goals from different angles, but our cause is one and the same. I want to encourage you today, all of you, to talk to each other from different organizations and build that unity and that solidarity. The 7 different breakout sessions we have this morning and this afternoon will give you the opportunity to hear from the organizations present about the work that they're doing and the skills that they have learned along the way, and how you can be a part of working alongside with them. You may notice that the format of our conference is a little bit different than some others that you may have attended. We don't have a big keynote speaker set up today to talk to us while we all listen quietly. Rather, in the afternoon, we will all participate in a discussion about what mutual aid means to us and how that meaning has been informed by the work. The design is that the longest session of the day, and the one where we will all be together, is the one in which we can all make our voices heard and learn from each other. You all have valuable things to say that we can learn from, so please do not be shy. As I said earlier, this conference is just the beginning. While you are here, I hope that you will learn, and the relationships you will build will help guide you to what comes next for all of us. To that end, we will be dedicating the very end of our conference today to discussing the next steps, and we invite you to be a part of that process. Make this as accessible for everybody as possible. We will also be providing Spanish language interpretation. And I'm going to go in a minute through some of our accessibility. Both aimed at making sure that we can all enjoy and learn from this conference. Following that, we will have an acknowledgement of the Indigenous people upon whose land we are meeting today. But before we do that, I want to thank the people who spent their time and their effort these past few months to make this happen, as well as the Reformed Church of Highland Park for the use of this space. accessibility, we have the all-gendered bathroom, which has an elevated toilet and also accessibility for wheelchairs and strollers if they need to navigate that as well. If you didn't see them coming in already, we have ramps for the entrances if you're coming in and out. And as I said before, we have both in-person and virtual, as well as Spanish language interpretation. So now I'm going to come up and I'm going to invite Renee to come up and deliver our points of unity. Yes.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to just do a land acknowledgement. We are living on the land of Munsee speaking people known as the Ramapo Lenape. Before colonization, they have lived and continue to live here. They have their creation stories tied to this land, and we should not speak of indigenous peoples in the past tense. Native communities and people in diaspora continue to live and struggle here. By truly acknowledging the history of the Ramapo Lenape and the land that we live, learn, and organize on, we are compelled to incorporate a solidarity ethic to everything that we do while we occupy it. Thank you.
Oh,
Not sure if we're going to display the points of unity as I'm speaking on them. Is that because I didn't bring them up? Wonderful. So welcome, everyone. My name is Renee. I'm from Mutual Morris. We provide mutual aid in Morris County and our points of unity. So when we came together in February, we came up with unifying points that we wanted to make sure that everyone was grounded as we organized this conference. And one of them, the first one, is that we are anti-capitalist. I'm not going to read the descriptions. The descriptions are up here and you can check out our website, but pretty self-explanatory. We are anti-capitalist. We are abolitionists. We are anti-racist. We are anti-imperialist. We believe in collective liberation. And those are our points of unity. So I think we can all agree on them. If we can, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Let's take our hand. Next. Because of the failures of both capitalism and the state. And so we organize not with these institutions, but around them. As such, folks who represent the interests of business and work for the state are asked to not participate in this space. We know that there are workers of all different kinds. Maybe some of you own a small business, some of you don't, but as long as we acknowledge that we are not working for capitalism, we are not working for the state, that's why we're here, that's why we're organizing. So thank you very much, and I'll hand it back to Erin.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so now that we've been through all that, this is a time we're going to take for, if anybody has any questions just regarding the logistics of the day, where things are, any high-level questions. If there's anything small, we have the greeter station at the back you can ask, but if there's anything that you want to know right now from me, from us, now is the time to ask it before we get started with our first session. Yes.
Michael from New York City for the if we were to share this, can I get a link from you all or like where the link where you go so people
You're talking the link for the website or for Zoom?
For the Zoom, yeah.
Okay, so the question is, if we have the link for the Zoom. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, we're gonna post the link in the chat. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody from Zoom? Okay. Then it looks like despite our technical difficulties, we are exactly where we want to be on time, which that's fantastic. So, all right, we're going to break out into our first sessions. Again, if you have any questions about where you need to go, please see myself or any readers in the back, or Leah, or Aisha, anybody involved in the planning here today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's all learn together. Solidarity.